Hey guys, welcome back. Today trading sessions, the same trade wins at the open and busts at lunch. One ends it at 13,000, one blows up. Here is the whole idea on one picture: the trading day as a clock. The market is not equally alive every hour. Think of the planet. When London and New York are both open at once, that overlap is the busiest, most liquid window on Earth, and it lands right on the opening bell. Watch the energy of the day, the volume. It spikes the second the opening bell rings, the open drive. Then it flatlines dead at lunch, the middle of the day, and finally wakes back up for the power hour into the close. So the same setup that prints money at 9:45 just chops you to pieces at 12:30. You trade when the market is loud and you sit out when it sleeps. When you trade decides whether you win. Let's build the simple routine. Here is the routine that turns the clock into an edge. 4 steps, and you run them on every single day. Step 1. Mark the 3 windows. On every chart, block out the open drive from 9:30 to 11, the lunch lull from 11:30 to 2, and the power hour from 3 to 4. That map is the whole game. Step 2. Trade the kill zones. You only hunt for setups in the open drive and the power hour, the green windows, because that is when real volume is in the market and moves actually trend instead of fake out. Step 3. Skip the lunch lull. From 11:30 to 2 you do nothing. Volume dries up, ranges go dead, and almost every breakout in that window is a fake designed to trap you. The best lunch trade there is no trade at all. Step 4. Let the clock filter your setups. Here is the key: your actual setup never changes. Same entry, same stop, same target. The only thing the clock decides is whether you are allowed to take it. Green window, you go. Dead window, you wait. That one filter is the difference between a coin flip and an edge. Mark the windows, trade the kill zones, skip the lull, let the clock filter. Now let's run it on 5 real days and follow 3 very different traders through each one. Before we trade a single chart, meet the 3 traders you'll follow. Each one starts with the very same $10,000 and trades the very same stocks. First, this is Maya. Maya is disciplined. She only trades the kill zones, the open drive and the power hour, and when lunch comes, she closes the laptop and walks away. Next, this is Cole. Cole cannot stop. He trades all day long, every wiggle with no stop loss, and he simply cannot resist a lunchtime breakout. And finally, this is Reece. Reece is always late. He waits until a move is obvious, then chases it for a tiny reward against a big risk. Same $10,000, same charts. The only thing that differs is the clock, so let's watch what that does to their accounts. Day 1, the open drive, the first and best kill zone. This is Tesla, 1 real day in 15-minute candles, and watch the green band on the left from 9:30 to 11, the opening bell. First, the opening range, the high and low of the first 15 minutes. The high sits at the opening range high 423. That is the line a real move has to clear, and right at the open, on heavy volume, Tesla explodes through it, and Cole chases the breakout candle instantly, buying the high near 428. No stop, but in this loud window, that recklessness happens to be fine. Maya waits 1 beat. Price pulls back and holds just above the range, and that hold near 425 is her entry. Her stop goes just under the opening low at 416, and her target is the measured move at 430. And Tesla rips. It tags her target by 11:45 before lunch even starts. Maya banks it a clean winner in the first hour. Reece, as always, buys near the top once the move is obvious and scrapes a few dollars with the move nearly over. Then watch what happens at lunch, the gray band. Tesla goes completely dead, flat for hours. The entire day's move was made in the kill zone. That is the whole point. The energy is at the open, so that is when Maya trades. After the open drive, all 3 are green. But Maya earned it with a stop and a plan, while Cole just got bailed out by a strong window. That luck is about to run out. Day 2, the lunch lull, and the lesson is simply do not trade it. This is Apple, the same 15-minute candles. And look, the morning, the green band did its job. Apple popped and tops out near 295. But the morning move is over by 10:45. Now watch the gray band lunch. Lunch begins and the volume drains away. Price coils into a dead, narrow box barely $1 wide, and just sits there for 2.5 hours, ticking up and down on nothing. This is the trap for the board. Cole can't sit still. He forces trade after trade in that box, buying every little pop and selling every little dip, and the dead chop chops him to bits. It is death by 1,000 cuts, and by 2 o'clock he is down $700 on a day that never moved. Maya's rule is simple: lunch is the dead zone, so she is not even watching. She banked her morning trade and closed the laptop. She sits out completely, and that protected her morning gains. In a dead market, doing nothing is the winning move. Reece needs a move to chase, and there isn't one, so for once being lazy keeps him flat. No volume, no trend, no trade. The clock told you to skip it. After lunch, look at the gap. Maya took 0 trades and stayed perfectly flat, while Cole churned the dead chop and gave back $700. Discipline just made money by doing nothing. Day 3, the power hour. The second kill zone 3 to 4 p.m. This is AMD, and most of the day is a trap you skip. Look at the chart. AMD fades and chops lower all morning, then sits dead at the bottom of lunch near 503. Through that whole gray band, nobody should be trading, and Maya isn't. Then the clock turns to 3 o'clock and the green band on the right lights up. In the afternoon, the stock coils under a lid at 508, and as the power hour wakes up, volume floods back in and AMD breaks the base. That break near 509 is Maya's entry. Her stop goes just under the base at 504, and a measured target sits at 516, and the closing drive delivers. AMD rips into the bell and tags 516. That is a clean 2R into the close, Maya's second winner, taken in the other green window. Cole, who traded the dead midday in blood, at least claws some back in the strong close. Reece buys the very last candle with almost no room left. The close is loud, so that is when you trade it. After the power hour, Maya has 2 clean winners from the 2 green windows, and her account is compounding. Cole clawed some back in the strong close, but he is still trading on borrowed time. Day 4 ties it all together. 1 stock, 1 day, all 3 windows on a single chart. This is NVDA, and the 3 bands tell the whole story. First, the green open drive band. NVDA rips off the open, 200 to 206 in 45 minutes, the trend set in the first hour. Maya buys the break near 203, stop under the open low at 198, target up at 208. Then the gray lunch band, and look how flat it is. Lunch goes flat and dead. 3 hours of nothing. A thin sideways drift between 204 and 206. Maya is already in from the open, so she simply holds and adds no new risk. Cole, of course, churns the flat lunch, buying and selling the noise, and gives most of his morning back in the middle. And then the green power hour band on the right. The close wakes up and NVDA grinds to a new high, 208, right into the bell, tagging Maya's target. 1 trade in on the open drive, patient through the dead lunch out in the power hour, a 3rd clean winner. Reece naturally only buys the afternoon late as always. Open loud, lunch dead, close loud. Every single day has this shape. Once you see the clock, you cannot unsee it. Day 5, and the whole reason the lunch rule exists. This is Apple again, a month later, and it is the trap that wipes out the all-day trader. Apple sets a morning high near 315, then drifts sideways into the dead zone, and then, at 1:30 in the afternoon, deep in the gray lunch band, it suddenly spikes to a brand new high, 317, to a chaser that looks like a breakout, and Cole pounces. A breakout, he buys it near 316, no stop, certain it is going to run. But there is no volume behind a 130 move, it is a lunchtime fake. And in that very same 15-minute candle, Apple reverses $8 and slams back down through 309. The trap is sprung. Maya's clock saves her. 1:30 is lunch, the dead zone, so her rule is no trade. She never even saw it. That is the best trade not taken. Reece grabs the afternoon bounce, the same greed, but he keeps a tight stop, so when it fails the fake costs him only a couple $100. And Cole, with no stop, he rides it all the way down as Apple bleeds into the close, 301. 1 lunchtime trade, in the window he should never have touched, and his account is gone. So burn this in, it is not just the setup, it is the clock. Trade the loud windows and never ever trade the dead one. Here is the whole week on one screen. The same 5 days, traded by all 3. Maya only ever traded the green windows, the open and the power hour, and sat out every lunch. She finished up 30% at $13,000 just by following the clock. Reece chased every move once it was obvious and ended barely green. A whole week of effort for almost nothing because he always paid up at the top. And Cole was ahead early because trading the strong morning windows actually works. But he could never skip lunch and he never used a stop. On the 5th day, a lunchtime fakeout trapped him, and with nothing to stop him he wrote it down. 1 dead zone trade erased everything. He ends at $1,300, all but wiped out. Same 5 days, 3 endings. The charts did not decide who won, the clock did. So here is your entire session playbook on one screen. 1. Mark the 3 windows on every chart: open drive, lunch lull, power hour. 2. Trade the kill zones, the open and the power hour, where the volume lives. 3. Skip the lunch lull. From 11:30 to 2 you sit on your hands. 4. Let the clock do the filtering, same setup, same stop, you just only take it when the window is green. Mark the windows, trade the kill zones, skip the lull, let the clock filter. That is every trading day forever. It is not just what you trade, it is when. That is trading sessions. Not a new indicator, just the clock. The market is loud at the open and the close and dead at lunch, so you trade the kill zones and skip the lunch lull. Same setup filtered by the time of day. Do that, and you trade like Maya, not Cole. If this helped, subscribe. A new skill from scratch every week, and drop a comment with the stock you want me to break down next. See you in the next one.